February 8, 2022, Saturday, good evening. This is Jannabal Rasha and you are watching GEE Captured 101 Daily Newscast. According to the Premier of United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, drugs are chemical substances that affect the normal functioning of your body, either physically or psychologically. They can affect on how your brain works, how you feel and behave, on your understanding and your senses. There are four main groups of drugs divided according to their major effects. First, we have stimulants. A stimulant example is cocaine. Cocaine is usually sniffed or injected, while crack is usually smoked. After snorting cocaine, users feel exhilarated and euphoric, leading to increased energy level and alertness, with delayed hunger and fatigue. Next, we have depressant, and our example is alcohol. Depressing substances reduce arousal and stimulation. They do not necessarily make a person depressed. They affect the central nervous system, slowing down the message between the brain and the body. And third, we have opium, opium-related painkillers. An example is heroin. This highly addictive drug is usually injected, but could also be snorted, smoked, or inhaled. Heroin could relieve tension, anxiety, and depression, including physical distress or pain. And lastly, we have hallucinogens. Example is LSD, also known as acid or hippie. According to the UNODC, LSD use leads to strong changes in thought, mood, and senses, along with feelings of empathy and sociability. Its exact effects, however, vary depending on the mental state of the users and the environmental when taking the drug. Now, for the next headline, why do people take drugs? Here is Kalalo Maribel reporting.
Yes, Jannibal, thank you. And yes, we are here live at Bahay ni Kuya Treatment and Rehabilitation Center at Lipa, Batangas to interview a former drug user of why he took drugs. So, sir, bakit niyo po kaya nagawa o naisipang gumamit ng alam naman po nating ipinagbabawal na gamot?
Sarap sa pakaramdam ng droga. Minsan nakakatulong din ito kapag may problema ka. Kadalasan ginagamit ko din ito para magawa ng ayos ang aking mga gawain. Nag-start ako nung gumamit ng NIS nung halos lahat ng kabarkada ko gumagamit na.
So, in conclusion, people take drugs because it's make them feel good, feel better, and do better. And also due to curiosity and social pressure. Back to you, Rasha.
Thank you, Maribel Calalo. And now, for the definition, here is Dr. Rodriguez, a neurologist and a medical doctor at St. Luke Medical Center.
Addiction is defined as a recurring chronic disorder marked by obsessive substance seeking and use despite of its negative effects. It is considered as a brain disorder because it involves functional changes to brain circuits involved in reward, stress, and self-control. Those changes may continue for a long period of time, even after a person stops using drugs. In addition, addiction is a lot like other diseases, such as heart disease. They both disrupt the normal, healthy functioning of an organ in the body. Both have serious harmful effects, and both are, in many cases, still preventable and treatable. And just like other cases, if it is left untreated, they can still last a lifetime and may lead to death. Thank you. Sending our greatest gratitude from St. Luke's Medical Center. Back to you, Rachel.
And now, to explain the basis of addiction, we have one of the officers in United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, Maribel Calalo.
Oh yes, Jannibal, thank you. And to explain the phases of addiction, drug addiction rarely happens overnight. It may begin by doing a little speed to lose weight or taking prescription pain medication after a car accident. Before long, the user may be spending more time thinking about how to get the drugs, when to take them, and how to pay for them. He or she may feel anxious, depressed, or angry when a deal falls through or prescription doesn't get refilled. The stages of drug dependence are as follows. The first one is the experimentation. Drug use is voluntarily and infrequent. Individuals experiment with drugs because of peer pressure or in response to problems in their lives. Many people at this stage are able to quit on their own. And the second one is the regular use. Some people find that drugs appear to be solving their problems, so they begin to use it on a regular basis. Also, drug use may not occur every day, but it tends to follow a predictable pattern, such as using them every weekend or resorting to them when feeling lonely or stressed. The third one is the what we call risky use. The risky user is the begins to experience emotional, physical, social, and legal problems. Adult may drive while under the influence, perform poorly at work, and impair personal relationships. Teenagers do badly at school. Yan yung mga risky user. The fourth one is the dependence, no? The individual continues using drugs regularly in spite of the harm they cause. Drug use in hazardous situations, such as while driving, becomes habitual. There is increased tolerance to the drug being abused, meaning that he or she needs more of it to have the same effect. The user will experience withdrawal symptoms when trying to quit. And the last one is the addiction. At this stage, drug use is completely out of control. The addict has an irresistible craving for the drug of choice. The majority of his time and attention are devoted to seeking it and using it without restraint. And Janibel, that was the 5 phases of addiction. Thank you very much. Back to you.
And just now, for the headlines of drug effects to halt, Garing,
Yes, Resho, we are here live at Philippine Health Center to interview a former drug user after her checkup. Kamusta po kayo? Nakakaapekto po ba talaga ang illegal na droga sa inyong kalusugan?
Ay, naku, sobra. Yung pakiramdam ko na, alam mo, yung wala nang silbi yung buhay ko. Kasi, na-diagnose ako na nagkaroon ako ng sakit sa dugo tulad ng HIV at hepatitis. Tapos yung depression ko talaga, grabe. At saka, yung katawan ko na feeling ko nanghihina na ako. Na naging hindi na normal yung tibok ng puso ko. Tapos, alam mo yung pakiramdam pa na nagsisisor ka. Pati baga mo na apektuhan. Sakit talaga na ng pakiramdam na yun. Na wala na, feeling ko, wala ng saysay talaga ang buhay ko. Na hindi ko na kayang mabuhay.
In conclusion, the effects of drug abuse on our health may cause irregular or rapid heart rate, heart failure, blood-borne diseases like hepatitis or HIV, high blood pressure, impotence or infertility, learning and memory problems, lung damage, psychosis, respiratory depression and coma, and lastly, seizures. That's all. This is Garing January Alexis reporting. Back to you, Resho.
if drugs have effects on halt, there's also for behavior. We have now psychometrician Dr. Mary Joy Tusi to discuss the drug effects on behavior. Good day, Miss Tusi.
Good day, Resho. So, drug effects on behavior is substance use disorders can lead to multiple behavioral problems, both in the short and long term, which can include paranoia, aggressiveness,
hallucinations,
addiction, impaired judgment, impulsiveness, and loss of self-control. This effect of drug abuse have serious consequences like missed work, punishable offenses, accident, and injuries. So, back to you, Resho.
Drugs also affect unborn babies. How? Here is Regine Makabata, a pediatrician of St. Luke Medical Center, to explain it to us.
Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. I am Regine Makabata, the pediatrician of St. Luke's Medical Center, and I will explain the effects of drug abuse on the unborn babies. Until now, we're very familiar with drug abuse in our country. The illicit drug uses poses risk for pregnant women and to their babies. The drugs may contain impurities that can be harmful to unborn babies. There have 3 different effects of drugs to pregnant women. The pregnant woman who use drugs may be more likely harm the fetus with risky behaviors and poor nutrition. The second, the drugs can lead premature birth or low birth weight. And the last one, it can also cause the baby to have withdrawal symptoms and sometimes in the form of neonatal syndromes or birth defects, learning, and behavior problems later in life.
Change is never too late. For the ways to overcome drug addiction, we have Dr. Escape for details.
In overcoming drug addiction, the first step is deciding to make a change, because only you can decide to overcome an addiction. Quitting is a gradual, if often takes several attempts. Quitting is easier if you have support, set goals, and are prepared for challenges. The next step is reaching out for support. Talk to your doctor, health professionals, counselors, or drug and alcohol service about your decision to quit. But be honest about your situation. Support from friends or family members can also help. Tell friends and family that you're committing to recovery and ask for their support. And lastly, here are the things that you should do while recovering in drug addiction. Once you committed to recovery, it's time to explore your treatment choices. We have the first one, detoxification. This is usually the first step, is to purge your body of drugs and manage withdrawal symptoms. The second one is the behavioral counseling. In fact, individual, group, and or family therapy can help you to identify the root causes of your drug use, repair your relationship, and learn healthier coping skills. The third choice, we have medication. It may be used to manage withdrawal symptoms. It can prevent relapse or treat any co-occurring mental health condition, such as depression or anxiety. The fourth choice is the long-term follow-up. It can help to prevent relapse and maintain sobriety. This may include attending regular in-person support group or online meetings to help keep your recovery on track.
Addiction to drugs, alcohol, cigarettes, gambling, and computer games can badly affect your life and hurt people around you. But it is possible to overcome addiction and reduce the harm to you and to others. Tandaan, ang kalusugan ay kailangang ingatan at ang kaligtasan ay maaaring nasa iyong kamay. Genable Ratio of GEE Captured 101 Daily News. Mapagkakatiwalaang balita, purong serbisyo, hatid namin sa inyo. Magandang gabi, bayan!